Juliet Charlie Fox listening. Oh, hello, Mal. Do you know what? It didn't sound like you at first. Happy belated Christmas, mate, and Happy New Year to you. I'll say that now, just in case the skip interferes with us and drops you off. Yeah, Roger, mate. Well, I'm using the TS520, and obviously the dial wants calibrating very, very slightly, but 271 will do me just fine, mate. It's not like I was stepping on anyone else's frequency. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, mate, you're 5 and 7 to me, sounding a little bit echoey. You know, not echoey as in wah wah wah, but echoing as in quite spatial. You sound quite trebly. Now, it could be this radio, it could be the microphone that you're using, could be anything. But I was using the FT101ZD earlier on 10 meters. And who did I work? Oh no, I worked. Oh no, I was on the 520. I was on this radio when I worked Namibia. I worked Mike down in Namibia, V51 MA, and it was a really good signal, 5 and 8 to me, and I was 5 and 5 to him. Not bad considering it was 10 meters, and I was using the long wire. I don't normally use the long wire for 10 meters, but because I'm in the garage, I was forced to. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, mate. I mean, it must be band conditions as well, because this Kenwood normally has quite a good tone to it, doesn't it? Hang on, I'm just looking at the time. When did I log you? About 47. I did do a little video. I pressed record as you came up to me, and I just thought I'd give it a couple of minutes just so that you can see for yourself. But I haven't been on the radio, like transmitter-wise. I haven't been on the radio very much at all the last 3 or 4 weeks. As you know, Mal, I had the COVID-19, and it's lingering a little bit. I still haven't been ill with it per se. I've had the cough, still got the cough now, and I was still testing positive 14 days later. So although the government says, 10 days and you can go, well, it's 7 days now, isn't it? But even though I went past the 10-day mark, and I was still testing positive, so we didn't see anyone Christmas Day. The in-laws and that would normally come round. But yesterday, Boxing Day, we went and saw a bit of family. I've stopped testing now, Mal, because from what I've read, I'm no longer infectious, but I could be testing positive for the next 3 months because of the antibodies. So there's, I could be testing forever and a day and never being allowed to meet anyone outside of my family if I was actually spreading the germs. So, it is what it is. As I say, I didn't go on the radio because I was ill. I didn't go on the radio because, I took time out to have a play around with all these new gadgets that I picked up from that silent key sale a few weeks ago. And as I say, just been basically going through boxes and boxes of stuff and offloading what I don't need or don't want, and keeping the more interesting stuff. Back to you.
And you're back to trebly again, so I think it's certainly bad conditions. I was on
Yeah, G1NOX M0 JCF. Yeah, well, do you know, it's interesting you say that, Mal. I've been operating a lot of 40 metres just recently, doing lots of short skip work, no DX as such, just all been short skip, mainly sort of the continent and island. And that's really where I was operating the last couple of weeks, sort of sporadically. And you're saying about the band conditions and that weird tropo effect. I was listening to this morning after I'd worked in Namibia. I went up the band slightly, and there was a station, a UK station, that was working another Namibian station. Now, the Namibian was very, very quiet to me, so I wasn't going to hang around for it. But the British station, I think he was in West London, and he sounded exactly like that, Mal, exactly like Tropo, that weird warbly effect, or, you know, like bordering on an Aurora type of contact on VHF. It was really quite a weird sound. You know, if I didn't know any better, I would have told him, here, mate, your modulation's way off. I know I posted it on social media to that effect, that he sounded weird, but yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is. These interesting times now with the propagation. As I say, the SFI, I've seen it go up. Well, the reports I've seen, it's been up in the 130s. And yesterday, I say I didn't go on the radio Christmas Day or Boxing Day, but yesterday I think it was around 115. And when it was last at 115, which was during that worldwide DX competition, it was around 115 then. And I had some amazing contacts that weekend. And I've been hoping that with the SFI being up a little bit, that we'd have very similar contacts, but doesn't seem to have worked out that way. I mean, there's been some interesting DX out there, quite high up in the bands, sort of 15 and 10 metres, but nothing that's sort of really floated my boat, and I was expecting a lot more action a lot further up the band. So I know the 11 metre lot on social media have been reporting quite a lot of like DX, weird and wonderful countries, French Polynesia, that sort of thing, but I certainly haven't heard it on 10 metres. And but having said that, I haven't been as prolific as I normally am. I've been doing other things. It is the Christmas season, and the radio sort of becomes secondary to everything else. But interestingly as well, while we're talking, your signals dropped from 5 and 7 to 5 and 5, and you've gone back to the normal Mal voice. You know, I know you are now, but definitely when your signal was higher, you definitely didn't sound like you. As I said, it sounded trebly, and now your signal's dropped to about 5 and 5, perfectly readable, but you sound like you again. Back to you, G1NOX M0 JCF. Yeah, G1NOX M0 JCF. Well, interestingly, I fired it up on 10 metres today, but I was tuning the radio, not tuning, like across the band, tuning the radio, and the best I could get out of it was around 10, 12 watts. So I'm going to look into that one. I was keeping the drive down because the plate current was going absolutely mental. So on the lower bands, the tuning is absolutely no problem, and I've screwed about 170 watts out of it. It's an amazing bit of kit, but on the higher bands, definitely on the 10 metres, the power seemed to be a bit low. So it might just be that I need a bit more careful, finer tuning of the plate load and pre-select, because I'm so used to the Kenwood and the tuning on that. I sort of do it with my eyes shut now, but you have to set it up very slightly different on the 101. It like with the Kenwood, I set the drive level first. I set my ALC to get the drive level, and then I then use plate and load, and I sort of fine tune it that way to get me maximum power. Whereas the drive, the carrier. Sorry, not the drive, the carrier, I don't have to touch. I leave the carrier alone on a Kenwood. But with the excuse me, with the 101, you have to muck about with the drive level to get me ALC, and then you have to plate and load. But you've got this pre-select as well, which I thought was really for sort of receive, but it seems to affect transmit as well. So what it is I just got so used to using the other radio and the way that it was set up, and I say Yaesu have done it very, very slightly differently. So it's something that I need to sort of properly investigate, and I just think it's just poor tuning on my part on 10 meters, which is what's mucking me up. I've just noticed SWR's gone mental on this radio. I've got a feeling maybe my over was too long. The power's dropped off slightly. I've gone from 100 watts to 75 watts. The SWR though has gone from 1.5 to just over 2.5. So you might have noticed something there. Back to you, G1NOX M0JCF. Yeah, G1NOX M0JCF. There you go. Look, I think what happened, Mal, I think my last over was far too long. My SWR is now down to below 1.5, and power sitting around 100 watts. I think what's happened with this radio, Mal, it just gets a bit hot. That's all. It's old, you know. It's old. It's probably getting a bit tired, but definitely on the long overs, I think I'm probably getting the valves nice and toasty. But also, Mal, I think for another summer project for antennas, it looks like I found all those box of all those traps, 10, 15 and 20 and 40 meters. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up a dipole, tune for 80 meters, and then bung all the traps in and make myself a trapped dipole for 10 up to 80 meters. Back to you, G1NOX M0JCF. Say that very last bit. I didn't catch the very last words out on that over. Oh, yeah. Do you know what I was thinking at myself the other day? I was thinking just that, you know, it's been a long time since we had that long Troppo opening. I mean, it lasted 3 or 4 days, didn't it? Just over the New Year holiday. And, yeah, I went on 2 meters a little while ago, Mal, went on 2 meters and had a call out, but got nothing back. But anyway, listen, Mal, I'm just looking at the meter. There's definitely something this radio don't like getting hot. What I'm going to do is stay on this frequency, Mal, 271. Keep it open. I'm just going to swap the antenna to the 101 ZD. You'll probably hear me tuning up on it. And what I'll do is I'll catch you on the 101 ZD on this radio. Back to you. Yeah, just keep this frequency open. M0JCF is going QRX while I swap radios, leaving the frequency to G1NOX. Catch you in a minute, Mal. Might even get myself an antenna switch one day. The G1NOX M0JCF. I'm just tuning, Mal. Maybe he did near me. G1NOX M0JCF. Yeah, G1NOX M0JCF. Mal, I'm showing that I'm on 21270. Is that correct, back to you? Yeah, you sound pretty much the same, but your signal is only showing 20. You're showing 5 and 3. So I got a feeling either the needle on this one is a little bit lazy, or the radio's a little bit deaf. Back to you. Yeah, G1NOX M0JCF. Okay, just looking at the power meter, peaking about, well, I'm just peaking 150 watts on this band, Mal. 150 watts, and it's averaging out about 125 watts. Just watching the needle now, as I say, on the louder portions of my voice, it's going up to 150 watts, but I'm just watching it. I'm just trying to keep it around 100 watts. I'm using the Yaesu Yankee Delta 148 desk microphone, and that is the other thing as well, is I haven't quite set the compression levels or the microphone gain levels on it yet, so I might need to have a faff around with them at some point. Back to you. Yeah, Mal, not sure if you've transmitted. The last words I heard was "that's weird," and you're right down on my noise floor. Your readability 4, and the S meter's hardly moving. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, mate. Well, I'm just using a manual tuner, and the SWR's just below 1.5 to 1, so I'm quite happy with that. So when I'm peaking at 150 watts, I'm probably dropping off a good 20-30 watts there. Back to you. Yeah, whatever you was doing there, you was back up to 5 and 3, perfectly readable, and S3. As I say, the meters, I'm not convinced with the meters on these old radios. Excuse me. You know, like my ear holes say that you're a perfect, you know, you'd say you was a 5 and 9. But I just need to faff around with the compression levels. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to wind the compression up just very, very slightly, and wind the mic gain down very slightly, and see how I sound. So if you bear with me, I've got the microphone in lock. Let's go up very slightly. That's the compression, up very slightly, and backing off the mic gain very slightly. Still showing about 130, 140 watts on the transmit. Just wondering how the audio sounds now, Mal. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, mate. I might be having. It might just be, you know, like I need to sit down with someone like yourself and just tweak the mic gain and the compression levels. But if you say that heterodyne whistle's gone, that's good. Somebody was tuning up as you was talking to me. Then somebody was definitely tuning up. You knew they were tuning because their tone got louder and louder. So I'm just wondering. The very slight drift on this radio as well. It's drifting about 100 hertz every now and again, and I'm just tapping the dial just to bring it back on frequency. So I knew that when I very first got this radio, that it suffered with a little bit of drift over time, especially on longer overs, and I'm seeing that now. So it's drifted 100 hertz, or at least the last digit has changed. So it's probably not 100 hertz, but just enough to change a display. So I will retune, but Mal, if you just stand by a second, we'll just see if someone was tuning up because they wanted to join in. It may just be somebody's tuning up and they can't hear us. So QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, in company with Golf 1 November Oscar X-ray. Was anyone wishing to come in? No, nothing heard here. I think someone was tuning up. Either someone was tuning up ready to jump in, someone's tuning up but we can't hear their phone signal, or someone tuned up, heard us and thought, oops, sorry, and then has moved frequency. I don't know. We give it one more go. QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot in company with Golf 1 November Oscar X-ray. No, nothing heard. I've got an S1 noise floor. He could be there. I mean, his tuning signal was on par with your signal, Mal, but not hearing anything. And if he is or she is using phone and trying to contact us, unfortunately, not hearing them. So yeah, back to you, Mal. G1NOX M0JCF. Yeah, Roger, mate, if you want to go to 10 metres, I'll tell you what, just quickly flick to 10 metres now, Mal, and tell me what frequency you want to go to, and then I'll follow you to that frequency, and then I'll have to retune the manual tuner, and obviously I'll have to retune the radio slightly as well. So go and find that frequency and come and jump back to me, mate, and let me know where to go. Back to you. Yeah, Roger, mate. Yeah. I expect a little bit of drift, especially out of an old hybrid as well. I mean, I'm generating some heat, especially on long overs. But I mean, I shouldn't be far off. The tuning shouldn't be far off at all on 10 metres. There's not a lot between sort of 10 and 15. All right, mate. I'll see you on 28,450. 28,450. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot in company with Golf 1 November Oscar X-ray, going to QSY to 28.450. So this frequency is clear for use. This frequency is clear for use.
Is this frequency occupied? Is this frequency in use?
Right, Mal, I haven't heard anything. You may not be hearing me. Just tuning.
Is this frequency in use, G1 anyway? Wallow. JCF, G1 anyway.
G1NOX M0JCF. How's that sounding, Mal?
I'm on the FT1 wasn't transmitting on 10 metres, which is strange because it was transmitting on 40 earlier on. However, I'm on the 7670.
Yeah, Roger, mate. I'm running about, it's about 12 watts. Only running about 12 watts. I'm just going to check the plate current on this one, and then so you'll hear a tuning signal.
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, let's see how much. 130, over.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, I tuned off then. So say that again.
I'm running about 130 on this band on the 767.
Yeah, you're coming in 5 and 5 to me. I'm running about 12 watts. No, I can't even whistle. Running about 12 watts. Just wondering how I'm coming across to you, mate. Back to you.
You're 5 and 4.
5 and 4. Yeah, well, that ain't too bad considering ground wave 12 watts. Just let me tune up again, Mal. I just want to check the plate current on this. Bit excessive. Why have I got no volume? What have I done? Sorry, Mal. I got myself all fingers and thumbs in. How am I sounding now, Mal? Yeah, how's that? It's running about 5 watts.
5 watts? It's very loud. Not a lot on the signal, but you're very loud.
Oh, that's all right then. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to go back to the manual on this one and find out where I'm going wrong. So I'm running about 5 watts peak, and yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't want to tune up. The plate current goes absolutely mental. I back off the drive and to get the plate current to come down. It's not really the right way to do it. I should be able to do that with the plate control, but you know, if I'm not careful, it's running like well over 300 milliamps, and that will just cook the valves to death. But definitely when I bang the drive down a bit, which is what I would do to get, you know, to drop the ALC into the green zone, what it does, it just seems to go a bit mental. Don't really like 10 meters by the looks of it. Back to you.
Yeah, okay. Sounds nice, Mark. I have to say, it's the first time I've heard it. So I'm back on the 1200 again with the MD1. And the FT1 wouldn't transmit on 10. Interesting. It was transmitting on 40 earlier because it was used earlier on 20 metres. However, that's by the by. But either way, I can still transmit on one vehicle or the other. It sounds nice, Mark, eh?
Yeah, Roger, mate. As I say, it's a really weird, you know, just 5 watts and yeah, no signal, but giving you plenty of modulation, as it were. Yeah, I'm going to look into this. Either something's wrong with the radio, or something's wrong with the way that I'm tuning it. Now, I never have problems, as you see, on 15 meters. Don't have problems on 20 meters. Don't have problems on 40 meters. I haven't really used it on the other bands. So it'll be interesting to find out if A, I'm doing something wrong, or B, the radio's got a problem on the 10 metre band. I don't know. Maybe a low pass filter's been cooked or something like that. Don't know. But you know, at the end of the day, Mal, this radio, now that I've offloaded all of the stuff I didn't want, this radio effectively doesn't cost me anything. So you know, the way that it works is absolutely fine by me. It's totally acceptable. I've got no problems with it. I say it really is in mint condition, complete with tags hanging off it and everything. The Yaesu inspection tag. I'd say the Yaesu inspection tag says it was inspected. I don't know how these numbers work. It's 1H270241. I don't know how that works out to a date code, but it came with all the manuals, the instruction manual, the service manual. I've got all the original receipts with it. It came boxed and that. The only thing it didn't come with was with the stock microphone, but of course it came with a YD 148, which is absolutely acceptable as well. So far I've been really pleased with the way that it works. I think it's just the tuning's very slightly different to the Kenwood, and maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Of course, I've got the Swan. I've started on the power supply for the Swan 350, so that's another game that I've got to play with. And then, of course, I've got those pair of summer camps. I've got the FR100B and the FL100B, so I've got that pair of little doozies. Now the receiver, it powers up, it lights up, but no volume, no noise. So you know, I put it on me little variac and wound the voltage up. I started at 50 volts and wound it up to 240. So it's time to really take them apart and do those properly. And then of course I got the FR50B, which is just a receiver. I'm just going to use that for a while. I might actually pump that one on. That one's in really nice condition. And of course the other thing I want to get back into as well is my little Chinese made SDR receiver, Class C transmitter, and I want to get back into that very soon as well. But you know, things being what they are, I'm quite happy with today's test. Back to you.
From G1NOX, okay, Mark. Well, it sounds very, very nice. You're 449.990, and it's solid. It seems to have settled there, Mark. So it's more or less on frequency, and as I said earlier, it's over 40 years old. It's allowed to protest a little, and with your careful guidance, I'm sure it will be giving service for many years to come. Okay, on all the other gear, I'll take it then that you've parted with the rest of the bits and pieces that came with it, and you've ended up with a free radio. That's the way you do it, but then that's what you do. One bit finance is another. Is there any chance you're going to get the monkey bars up this holiday, over?
Yes, I will be doing it as long as it's not raining this week, Mal. I will be swapping that over this week. That will be going up really, because the next sort of length of time that I get, other than weekends and the odd days off, will be in the summer. So yeah, I want to get that up. I mean, you know me, Christmas holiday between Christmas and New Year is my traditional time for VHF antennas, isn't it, or rotators or something like that. So it'll probably happen this week. It's going to be a 15-minute job. You know, there's not a lot to it. So that will be happening. By the way, you're sounding absolutely superb on this radio with the radio you're using. I'm still videoing actually. I think we've passed the half-hour mark now. So all good fun indeed. But on that note, talking of good fun, Mal, I am actually now going to shut it down and go into the go back into the house and pour myself either a glass of port I think I might have a glass of port. I know you're not a drinker, but I think I might just have a glass of port, sit down and watch a bit of telly. Funnily enough, my wife had on earlier that old musical classic. I know I'm not into musicals, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, with Howard Keel and a few other famous faces. And I didn't mind it, actually. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't give it all my attention, but I quite enjoyed it. And answering your question, when it comes to selling all the gear, so effectively I've now got this radio for free. I haven't sold it all, Mel. There are some pieces of it that I am definitely keeping. There was a very, very nice low pass filter, 10 metres to 160 metres, 100 watts. I'm keeping hold of that. You can never have enough low pass filters. There's a very, very nice speech processor box, homebrew speech processor. That is fantastically well made. There was a lot of CW stuff, Kias and stuff like that. I've managed to get rid of most of it, but one thing that I did pick up in that sale was a complete 40 meter band homebrew CW station. It's the transceiver, it's a linear amplifier, there's the power supply, there's a keyer. I have got a straight key, but there is a keyer should I want to use a paddle, and a pair of high impedance headphones, old school headphones, really, really beautifully made. And I may pass that on, I don't know, but it's so well made. I might just brush up on the CW and start using it. It's a lovely, lovely set of kit. If you can tell that the bloke who the silent key was a G3 and a ZS, so South African and UK licensed. But not only was he a radio man, but he was a model man as well, model making and that. And you can tell that, the finesse that has gone into this homebrew kit is second to none. I mean, it's definitely 10 times better than I've ever built. And I've been building, nearly 50 years? No, I've been building for 50 years. And some of the kit that I picked up was just a work of art, right down to his wiring and the way that he wired. I mean, everything is so neat and tidy. There is absolutely, no mistaking that the bloke was a craftsman. So really, really lots of the kit. And as I say, still got lots of boxes of stuff that I need to go through. Lots of component level stuff, which I'm finding very useful. I'm going to go through some of it this afternoon, I think. But it is what it is. Obviously, he died 5 years ago, and his good lady wife, the widow, she was a South African. And basically, she'd sold all of his station 5 years ago, or in the last 5 years. And this was basically stuff that people didn't want. This is people had actually given it back to her, said, nah, either don't want it or can't sell it. And it was, well, hang on a minute, and I think that is the problem with today's society, because it is a throwaway society and everyone wants everything brand spanking new, all shiny with bells and whistles, touch screens, waterfalls, band scopes, and basically you tell the radio where to go and it does it for you. You don't even have to have hands on almost. I say that tongue in cheek, and I'm old school, so I like this old kit, and I like analog dials and stuff like that, and I like using my ears to find either the stations or use my gob to call for the stations. So what they didn't want, what was another man's trash, it was my gold. So it is what it is, Mal. And as I say, I would imagine there was some very nice modern kit, as she called it, commercial radios. And she said, oh no, they didn't want that one, this is the FT101. They said, oh no one wanted that one. No, I couldn't sell it to anyone. I'm thinking, and it was clubs as well. It weren't just individuals, Mal, it was clubs. that couldn't get rid of this kit for her. And I'm thinking to myself, either people in the club were being quite mercenary and just took what they wanted. I don't know. I mean, I didn't ask her about money and that, but I made a sizable donation to her and her cause. And just took it away, and literally she was going to throw it in the skip. She'd come to the end of it now. It'd been 5 years since he passed on, and she just said, I'm just going to throw it all in the dustbin. All of those components, boxes of components. She goes, they're all going in the dustbin. I don't want them there anymore. And I just had to say, no, you can't. I'll take it, And as I say, I paid. Nicely, and as I say, the money she didn't want, it's gone to her cause, her charity, and or rather her church, and like you, Mal, I'm an atheist, and but at the end of the day, it's what made her happy and what made her feel comfortable, and I was comfortable because I was paying the money to her. What she did with it is entirely up to her. So yeah, a long old ramble on that over, Mal, and just looking at the power meter, it looks like I've dropped to about 3 watts now, so it's quite possible that you can't hear me no more, and you've already said goodbye. G1NOX M0JCF.
I've got everything, Mark. You're 5 and 3, 5 and 4. The audio from that microphone and that bad kit is really nice. It's very pleasant to listen to. It's punchy. It sounds really good at this end of the RF part. And if my MD1 sounds half as good as what you're sounding, I don't think I'm doing too badly. But if you was to want an original mic for that piece of kit, it would be an MH1B8, but that can cost you second-hand as much as a new one. So stick with that one that you got, that bass mic, because it sounds quite good, that's for sure. But if you bought an MH1B8, it could probably cost you £30 plus the postage. What's the point? The mic you've got with it is just as good. I imagine, Mark, that I think the rugby weekend is on, not this coming weekend, the weekend after. And I imagine that if the club's having meetings, etc., at some point they will have a surplus equipment sale. You might be able to get rid of some of that stuff at the surplus equipment sale in the not too distant future, Mark. But for the rest of it, that you're going to keep, I think if you fell down the drain hole, you come up smelling the roses. 7-3, Bob, good afternoon, great to hear you. Thanks for the chat and changing bands, etc. And I'll speak to you as and when. If you manage to get the monkey bars up, make sure it's a little bit higher. And once it's up in the sky, it won't look quite so big, I can promise you. But I can't believe that our 7-element has been up there since 2018. Now, where's that 3 years gone? That's amazing. Best wishes, mate. Regards to all at home, and I'll speak to you as and when. M0JCF for a final. G1NOX, hello?
Yeah, G1NOX M0JCF returning for that final. Yeah, Mal, at the end of the day, mate, it served me really well, that 7LE that you donated to me, and I will be, with your permission, donating it to an M7 possibly. I'd like it to go to someone who's new to the hobby, not a lot of money, wants to get into VHF. I'd rather it went to someone like that. What I don't want to do is pass it on to someone who's just going to leave it sitting there on a roof, or something like that. Pretty much like I did for a while, pardon me. But, we'll see what happens. As I say, I'll get that antenna up. Yes, I've got a longer pole as well, so it will go slightly higher. I just want to get it, probably another 3 feet will do me. And, I've got hiccups, I'm burping, it's all happening now. Oh dear, that tends to happen a lot now when I've done long overs. Oh, I'm just checking the video. We're running to 48 minutes now, so what was going to be a quick little video to show you your audio. It's going to be a longer one. I'll put it on YouTube, and I'll point you to the link to it, Mal, and you can have a listen. But you are sounding absolutely superb at this the end of this QSO, and you can see how it's all coming up. And just to give you an idea as well, the quality of some of this kit. I mean, I'm just showing it now. I've got a field strength meter. It's absolutely superb. I've been watching it the last couple of weeks. It's been flicking away like a good one. But I've got all sorts here, homebrew crystal markers and everything, you know, sort of kit that a lot of people with the modern gear just wouldn't use nowadays or wouldn't construct, you know. And I'm probably going to have more use out of it with this older gear, you know. The crystal markers especially are very, very useful bits of kit. Of course, most modern radios come with crystal markers built in, or, you know, they come with digital markers now, I would imagine. So, you know, crystal marker is a thing of the past. And of course, being that this is slightly older kit, I probably need a calibration for the crystal marker. But, you know, I've got modern stuff. I've got my little tiny SA spectrum analyzer and stuff like that. You know, it's I'll just have a sort through and sort out the wheat from the chaff. And as you say, yeah, the KW weekend's coming up soon. I will go along to that, so I'll probably see you there, Mal, if you're going to show your face. I'll go along to the KW weekend, probably go on the Saturday and just show me face, being that I am a club member, and I'll see, you know, I'll have a sniff around and that. I did ask Guy that, you know, if he wanted any of this old kit, but I think he's got more than he knows what to do with, being that, you know, he's an enthusiast for the old stuff. You see, I'm not a collector, Mal, I'm an enthusiast. I don't collect this stuff for it to sit there. I collect it and use it, or I sell it on or pass it on, give it away. As I say, I had a pile of it. Guy G1NOX is giving me an HT transformer from an FT101, believe it or not, and a filament transformer. That's partly for my power supply for the Swan 350. So you know, I can actually get on and finish off the power supply for that one, and maybe get that one on air. That will be very interesting. I mean, that is very old school. And then when I've got the time and the energy, I'll get onto the pair of summer camps, and of course the Code R85 mail. Don't get me started on that one, because that one has got to be that's got to be 3 years or more in the making now, hasn't it? That one's a completely new story. Mal, always a pleasure, mate, and I'm glad we've had nearly an hour, and very surprised no one came back to my CQ 15 meters. There was quite a lot of DX on that band. There was a few United States stations. Martin K2 TRD, I haven't spoken to him for years, but he's always on, and he likes a rag chew as well. You never just get a report from Martin K2 TRD, you always get a rag chew. And in fact, last time I spoke to him, he was knee deep in snow, and my daughter was actually in New York City, so that would have been sort of January 2019, just before all this nastiness started, and put a stop to people doing that sort of travelling. I know people are. I've got friends at the moment that are in the Caribbean and places like that. They've gone there for Christmas. Me personally, I can't be arsed with it, mate. You know, I just cannot be arsed with the restrictions and rules and regulations and laws. Not to say that I'm anti-law and regulation and that, but, you know, it's just, you know, you never know from one day to the next what's going to happen. And being that I'm double jabbed and now I've had the COVID, you know, I'm sort of quite laid back about it. I don't know if that's the right attitude. But anyway, Mal, we'll carry on with this one later, mate. Might catch you on the 2 meters very soon. I'll keep my eye out on the barometer as well, and just see what's going on there. But I'll keep my eyeballs on the solar flux index as well. As you say, if it's dropped down to 95 today, okay. Let's face it, the last couple of years it's been hanging around the 70s, and when it's gone into the 80s and 90s, we've had a bit of DX. And I mean, I've had Namibia today. That's the only one I had, so I was quite happy. That did me. Namibia on 10 metres on the old 520. That was that was a nice one to catch. I don't think I've worked Namibia on 10 metres, so that was a nice catch for me. And I'm rambling now, and I was meant to be making it my final. I'll catch you later, Mal. I've noticed as well the old frequency counter, I'm drifting a bit now. It's drifted a couple of 100 hertz now. So all the best, mate. I hope to catch you before the new year, but if not, I wish you happy new year. Enjoy yourself, and I'll speak to you when you're older. G1NOX M0JCF, listening for any final.
Okay, Mark, I followed you down the band. You're 499.6, so not bad. If you could stabilise it, it would be good to put a TCXO in there that will stabilise it. I'm sure it'd be good. Anyway, it sounds great. And if you get that monkey bar up and you want to test, just message me and I'll come up on the band. 7-3, very good afternoon, and I shall be at the KW weekend if they don't change the rules between now and then. M0JCF, G1NOX. Cheers, Mark.
Yeah, cheers, mate. And I should add, I've been running QRP 5 watts for the last 20 minutes or more. M0JCF now going QRT. This frequency's clear for use. This frequency's clear for use. Did somebody key up? Did somebody want to report? M0JCF just about to switch off?